I would now request us all to observe a moment of silence for prayer, meditation, and dedication. Please be seated. Honorable guests, distinguished VIPs, our deans, our CEOs of hospitals, our senators, parents, our family, our friends, and our most special guests this evening, our graduates. I warmly welcome you to this admission ceremony. My name is Professor Flavia Senkubuge, and I'm the President of the Colleges of Medicine. Whenever I stand before an admission ceremony or a graduation, I'm always reminded of the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, who was a 19th century essayist. He was a lecturer, philosopher, and he said, "What lies before you and what lies in front of you pales in comparison to what lies within you." The CMSA admission ceremonies are always a time of celebration, but also a time of reflection. Reflection of the journey that one has walked to arrive at this point. The sacrifices made, the late nights, the family gatherings that have been missed, and so much more. Tonight, as you sit here together with your loved ones, your friends, and your colleagues, remember that every single sacrifice made was worth it. So enjoy this evening, and may your loved ones also enjoy celebrating this special moment with you. And I really want to pause and ask all of us to please give a hand of applause to all the family and friends. I know that tonight would not be possible without all the loved ones and all the friends who are sitting here this evening. In my own reflection, I always recognize the honor of standing among the best in our fraternity, to stand among excellence and among leaders in our field who ensured that I could stand here today in what will always be a historic moment as the first Black female president in the 66-year history of the Colleges of Medicine in South Africa. I recognize this fact because it is important and because representation matters. I also want to add on a personal note that this evening is made even more special for me because there's so many people we're honoring this evening, like Professor Lindeke, who was responsible for nominating me. And so I really want to say thank you so much, Professor Luvengo, and many of the colleagues who are sitting here on the stage, who I won't name one by one, but really they have held me, they have stood shoulder to shoulder with me. And I really want to say to all our graduates this evening, may you be like these men and women here on the stage who have and have had the tenacity and boldness of recognizing that a small town girl like me from the Eastern Cape can lead the apex body of medicine in this country. We hold this admission ceremony during a difficult time in our country where, as of yesterday, we returned to the national state of disaster, which is a way for us to implement and to make sure that we help those of our family and friends who are in KZN who have been impacted and devastated by the floods. Our prayers and thoughts are with everyone in KZN. This admission ceremony has been made possible by the incredible work of the CMSA leadership, our board, our senators, the constituent college president and council members, all our examiners, our candidates, our stakeholders, our partners, and our amazing CMSA staff. And I do want to single out in a special way our CEO, Professor Eric Buch. I'm not going to make him stand up, but I think all of you will be able to meet him later on. And I also want to thank Professor Vanessa Birch, our Executive Director, Education and Assessment, and Mrs. Yolokazi Ganzi, our Academic Registrar. It's through your hard work, colleagues, all of you, and your tenacity that today is possible. And with this, I warmly welcome you to our admission ceremony. And really, I'd like to introduce you to somebody who in our fraternity really needs no introduction at all, who is a dear friend and somebody who has been a mentor to me and somebody who I admire greatly and who really has inspired me through his work. And that is Professor Solomon Rataimane, who is the chairperson of the Medical and Dental Board of the Health Professions Council of South Africa, who will deliver the oration this evening. I do have to, Prof gave me a small CV of his, but Prof, I did get through the grapevine a longer CV, and I think you do deserve the recognition. Prof was a former chairperson of the Ministerial Advisory Committee on Mental Health in South Africa. He's also an international fellow of the American Psychiatric Association. He's the chair of the International Relations Division of the South African Association of Psychiatrists. He was the former regional vice president of the World Association for Psychosocial Rehabilitation. He's a member and was a former chairperson as well of the Committee for the World Federation Against Drugs. He was the former president of the African Psychiatric Association and Allied Professions from 2014 to 2016. He was also the former head of Department of Psychiatry at Sefako Makgato Health Sciences University, SMU. And I do want to add a few things about Prof's career as well. Prof was appointed as a deputy chair of the Medical Research Council of South Africa in 2007 and 2010, and he is a member of the College of Psychiatrists of South Africa, and as I said, the former regional vice president for the World Association of Psychosocial Rehabilitation as well. He was also the former chair of the International Relations Division for the South African Society of Psychiatrists, and he was a former board member of the International Council on Alcohol and Addiction. And Prof has got an interesting training career. He trained in child and adolescent psychiatry at the Institute of Psychiatry in Maudsley Hospital, and that was in the UK. He continues to function as an examiner for the college and an external examiner for many of our universities in the country and also in the region as well. And Prof is a very well-known speaker and a very well-known face in this fraternity. And so it's a great honor to welcome you, Prof. Rataimane.
Thank you very much, Madam President. I wish to thank Professor Senkubuke and the team from the College of Medicine of South Africa for inviting me to give this short oration this evening. Basically, in short, to say thank you and well done to the graduates. Any exam is no child's play, it's very difficult. I'm not used to speaking in a church, so if I sound like I'm going to preach, you must know that I've been moved by the Spirit to do so. However, we are here to really celebrate people who have gone through difficult times to make sure that they pass the various examinations in different colleges, diplomas, and so on. We think this is a wonderful task. Currently, I'm the chairperson of the Medical and Dental Board of the Health Professions Council of South Africa, and we work very closely with the Colleges of Medicine of South Africa in terms of the final exams for the fellowships and so on. This has been a very wonderful journey. I've learned a lot from Professor Nkubuke and the team. I've attended various meetings virtually. We are faced with a difficulty as a country. As you graduate, as you go out there as free individuals loaded with education, you suddenly realize that you are being plunged into a country, like many other countries, that is faced with so many difficulties. One of the biggest difficulties we've had recently is COVID-19. It ravaged societies, South Africa, Africa, worldwide. So many people have died. Estimated 90,000 to 100,000 people died in South Africa, and people are still dying, even though the numbers are fewer. But you are in a position as graduates to assess these issues. And to quote a Brazilian educator, Paulo Freire, in one of his books called Pedagogy for Education, he says, and he makes a very bold statement, that education is freedom. This means, if you unpack that by qualifying, graduating, in whatever area, in whatever specialty, you are now free to question what you are taught. You are free to entertain new ideas, to contribute to innovations in your specialty and in other specialties. But Paulo Freire, in another book called Pedagogy for Freedom, he says that whoever teaches learns in the act of teaching, and whoever learns teaches in the act of learning. There's a warning to graduates that you may think you've finished, you are free to enter society, but it's almost like you're continuing a journey. And that journey has to be continued, and it's a journey of teaching and learning. As you teach other people, you learn from them. And I think that's a fundamentally powerful philosophy. We are thrust into a world where you wake up, people, number is now 448 have died in KZN because of the heavy rains and the mudslides. We go to restaurants today, you go and fill your tank at the petrol station, everything is expensive because of the conflict between Ukraine and Russia. The world has become too expensive. So you have wonderful ideas as a graduate that you are now going to be able to fend for yourself, fend for your family, and get all the comforts in life that you may want. But that's not going to be so easy because it may put some pressure on you. However, we believe that you've succeeded because you had certain specific characteristics. One of them is that you had a well-developed philosophy. You knew what you wanted to do, and you put your mind to it, and you succeeded. But you couldn't succeed without persistence. That is the key issue. Repeating, you're told that you're not doing well, you fail, but you continue repeating. To read and read, not failing, until you define your purpose very clearly. But you're also passionate about what you're doing. No one enters into a specialty without passion. No one really studies anything, understands it properly without passion. The other thing is that you honored principles. You knew that you had gone to work and you wanted to study further. And you defined your time. You mapped out your day in terms of the principles of what you wanted to achieve. And finally, you wanted to excel. No one wants to be mediocre. You want to perform in a very excellent manner. You had the art of persuading yourself, your teachers, and even the examiners at the college that you must pass because you know enough to be able to function in society. Those are some of the key characteristics of people who are successful. And I think we have to keep those in mind because you are now thrown into a world where there is so much stress. If you're going to be working in an area such as KZN, if you're going to be working with migrants from different countries that are faced with wars, poverty, including our country, different parts of our country, there's still a lot of poverty. You know that you're going to feel the pain of those who you'll be treating. This means that as a health practitioner, you are a very vulnerable person. Your vulnerability lies in your ability to give to society the help that they need. But the vulnerability becomes worse if you give too much of yourself. I think it's important to note this, that if you do too much and you don't define boundaries for yourself, you may end up joining the same people that you're trying to help, and some of them may outlive you. I think it's very, very important. And my key message tonight, you say, health practitioner, take care of yourself. In my early days when I studied Freud in psychology, psychiatry, I remember every time I get into a room with a patient, for whatever problem, I remembered what Freud said, make sure that you outlive that patient. That patient must not outlive you, because you'll have reversed the roles now. But indeed, many of our patients do outlive us because you do so much and you don't realize that you also need to rest, you also need help. These stressful situations, including some of the scourges of our country, treating people with gender-based violence, people who've been sexually abused in different ways, people who've been physically brutalized, car accidents and so on. You think you're a wonderful surgeon, good orthopedic surgeon, you treat, and you don't realize that as you enter the treatment scenario, you're also internalizing the pain of the people you're treating. And you may end up with what you call secondary traumatization, by which you mean you are now assimilating the pain of people that you are trying to help. And you have to know when that pain is too much for you. This is a key issue, because suddenly you may find that your behavior changes. You're no longer the same person that people have known you to be. You are no longer patient. You arrive at home, you're fighting with people, you kick doors. Doors don't talk, but you just kick them. You find that you don't trust people around you. You feel the whole world is against you. You become extremely paranoid. You have terrible dreams. What you don't realize is you may have been taking too much, and you need to help yourself by asking for help. Many colleagues do not ask for help. They keep just going on and on and on. That is why today people have developed theories such as post-traumatic stress disorder. For instance, if you've been in a scene where people are involved in an accident, or you are helping people who died in the mudslides in KZN, aeroplane crashes and so on, you find that you get traumatized by being in that scenario. But what about the violence related to car hijackings, burglaries, people held at gunpoint in their homes? All those things can cause post-traumatic stress disorder. But I was relieved a week or so ago when I joined a webinar that was given by a colleague from the USA in Philadelphia, who talked about ignoring the so-called post-traumatic stress disorder. Because once you say you have post-traumatic stress disorder, you are saying, I'll stay like that for a long, long time, because it's almost like the after effects of COVID, some of the prolonged COVID effects, they are not easy to treat. He says, let's conceptualize a different approach. And that approach is post-traumatic growth. Have I grown? Has there been growth on my part? Have I learned from the situation that was traumatic or the terrible experiences that I witnessed? I think that's a very important concept. So you hear people talking about, yes, COVID-19 was terrible. Yes, the war in Ukraine, Russia is terrible. But there are lessons. Now, those lessons must be consolidated into what you call post-traumatic growth. Let's find those lessons. Some of the lessons today are multifold. We have been battling with understanding technology. Many of us who qualified many, many years ago, I don't quite even remember when I passed the college exam, maybe in 1988. Technology was not as sharp and as smart as it is today, but we're trying to understand it. I marveled at how the college rallied around when our students could not access patients in hospitals because of the COVID regulations, how things were done online, virtually. But we have to think about concepts of cyber patients, a patient that you can examine online. There are many, many technological advances that will help us in that regard. Those are traumatic growth experiences. You will learn to adapt to the situation, but not negatively, but more in a positive manner. I think this means we've got to be leaders in what we're doing. The second issue is that of making sure that we continue to empower ourselves. People who become secondarily traumatized, who become very depressed, who become burnt out, which is the word that is bandied around, have features such as just feeling tired. Every day they wake up, they don't have a plan for the day. They don't know whether they're going or coming, but they go to work and they suddenly realize that the output is not as it used to be. The common factor is that they might be having some degree of incompetence that they may not be aware of. So when you are asked by the Health Professions Council of South Africa to improve yourself by joining webinars, getting continued professional development points, it's not just to get the points, it's to improve your skills, to sharpen your skills. It is found that any practitioner who has sharpened his skills and who knows that confronted with difficult patients, he'll do his best, but know his limitations. He knows how far he can go and when to ask for help. That practitioner will survive the most difficult situations. But those who don't, who feel they're the best in the field, they don't want to consult anyone, they end up breaking down. I can tell you, in terms of the reports that we get at the HPCSA, many colleagues are very good people who've studied very well, but some of the blunders happen when they are depressed, they happen when they're overwhelmed by the work situation. So everyone talks about working in a toxic environment. We want to ask you to convert the toxicity into something manageable for yourself. You will not be able to clear the toxicity of the environment, but you can make it sound or look a little meaningful to you. Many doctors from the surveys that have been done by Medscape in the United States complain about there's so many forms that you have to fill to complete. Just a prescription for patients, sometimes it's a very serious journey. To get an investigation done, you've got to complete so many forms. At the end of the day, no one says thank you. This is something that breaks down many doctors. You work more than 12 hours a day sometimes, but your CEO, your boss does not say thank you. So it was thought that perhaps this toxicity is more in the public service compared to those people who have their own practices. But it turned out that, in fact, this burnout and clinical depression is the same in the public service as it is in the private settings, because it has to do with one key issue: your ability to organize your day, knowing what you're going to do. You don't just wake up and say, I'm going to work. You have a plan for the day, and you know how far you can go with that day. People suddenly feel heaviness of the chest, they have palpitations, they have sleepless nights, insomnia, sometimes they oversleep. Those are some of the features of burnout. And I want to stress this because people have asked about this. Is burnout depression? You can have burnout without being clinically depressed. But depression and burnout are on a continuum. Depression can lead to burnout. If you are burnt out, you can end up with a clinical depression. The key issue for us is to be able to sit back and say, what is happening? I was an A student at high school. I never failed at university. I passed the college exam, maybe with one repeat here and there, but I didn't struggle. Why am I feeling this way about something that I've been passionate about? One of the solutions is, well, look around. Are you still socially connected? A sense of belonging is key. You have to have friends. You have to visit your in-laws even if you don't like them, because they talk about something different. They're not talking about obstetrics or orthopedics and so on and so on. They tell you how you will treat their daughter. That's fine. But, that's a different story. You laugh about it when you drive back home. Go to church. Don't stop going to your sporting activities. Play music. Join friends. Get into those activities that take you away from your normal day at work. I think this is critical. Many of the participants in those surveys also mentioned moderate exercise, moderating their intake of alcohol, reducing smoking, things like simple walking and so on. But everything came down to having a sense of belonging, a sense of connectedness to the world, particularly your family. It doesn't matter how your family is structured or composed. Be in touch with them, don't ignore them, because that's where you get your support. I think it's important to accept that we're not going to win the war against poverty. We're not going to win the war against brutalization of women and children, but we have to manage those people. We have to also understand that as we enter deeply into that system, we could also be harming ourselves. So just to summarize, in an attempt to conclude, it's important to consider the following issues. Further education is important. We've got to diversify. So diversity is key. We have to look at sports medicine. We have to look at aerospace medicine and other areas of medicine that are not commonly talked about. You may want to do an MBA and improve your marketing skills, your business skills. There are many young colleagues now who are doing very well in business because they've diversified. You've got to also make sure that you improve your leadership skills. You have so much power as a health practitioner, as a doctor in particular, that you don't realize that you carry so much power. Anything you say to people, they accept it. But sometimes you say it the wrong way, and of course you end up being reported to the HPCSA. And of course, one has to deal with you one way or the other, which is not very nice. I think get into webinars, get into training programs where you can improve your leadership skills. I think the relationship with patients, it's a very important one. We don't get easily trained. It's happening now on how to interact with your patients. That relationship of respect, of care between you and your patients is very crucial. Because if you go outside the boundaries of that relationship, you are not able to manage that person properly. And there are many things that can go wrong. The next point, which most people find difficult, is volunteerism. It's important to volunteer in some of the activities. I remember when COVID-19 hit us, most of the messages that came to the Minister of Health, Deputy Minister, were of people who said, we are retired, but how much will you pay us if we come and assist? Now, when you want to be paid for assisting, that's not volunteering. You're a pensioner, you're still receiving some money, or you're doing some private work here and there. Is it difficult to just give some of your time in certain areas and be registered as a volunteer? I think that's important. That is also a diversion from your normal daily duties. I think it's important also understanding that we cannot live without any of these disasters, to do a bit of reading and also join training programs where you understand dynamics of disasters, what people need, the needs of people during COVID-19. We are part, at the moment, of a team appointed by the minister as one of the subcommittees of the advisory committees on COVID-19. And I was struck by this appointment because the first thing that happened in the first meeting, which was about 5 weeks ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, it had a lot of researchers. So I said, colleagues, the Deputy Minister of Health is aware of many papers that are published. Why is it that you also want to zoom into the observable, the obvious? The minister wants people who can go and work, who can do group therapy, who can provide counseling, who can educate people, advocates for adopting vaccination, adopting good health, taking care of yourself. He's not necessarily interested in how many papers you've published to earn your PhD or to be recognized as a scholar. This has to change because our research must be relevant to our conditions today. Our research must address the practical needs of people. You may have noticed these days the questions that the journalists are asking people in KZN. What do you need? How can we help you? They know what their needs are. What people want you to do is to deliver. to hold them by their hand, comfort them. Nobody's talking about their psychological makeup, how they're coping with the stresses of today. I think it's key to say that this level of education is very, very important, and that you need, therefore, to understand that as a doctor, you also must take care of yourself. So, in order to understand the landscape, all those things that I've mentioned can affect our relationships at home and at work. And the surveys I've referred to are saying if you tap on your inner resilience, for you to reach the stage where you have qualified and you are now going to be counted as a consultant or somebody who can give information, means you have gone through the ups and downs of the educational program and you have tapped into your inner resilience. At the end of the day, we don't want you to be depressed. We want to prevent suicide. Recently, we've had a number of reports of doctors who have committed suicide. You've been with a person, you've been with him today, yesterday, and the other day. You didn't realize that the person was so depressed that would take his or her own life, but they did. This sense of belonging is crucial. Don't be alone. I think it's also important to stabilize your purpose. What do I really need? Am I happy in this specialty? If you're not happy, don't dump the specialty, but diversify. Look at something else that you can do to add on to what you're doing. Of course, some other programs have been suggested, like exercise, further professional development, and of course, the humility of asking for help. I think you've done very well, and without much ado, I'd like to thank the college for the support that they've given you throughout your training years, and I'd like to thank you, most of all, for your achievement, and wish you well as you continue the journey of learning. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. Ratamane, and honestly, there's nothing to add to that. And when you hear the ending of what I have written, as I said to you this morning, you'll think you and I colluded on our speeches, but thank you for reminding our graduates as well and our candidates about the importance of self-care. And I want to call upon our Vice President, Professor Fagan, to hand over a gift to you.
Get caught up in this one. It shows you that I haven't done exams in a long time. Thank you.
And so, colleagues, during this admission ceremony, you will see many special moments. And I still remember sitting in halls and seeing people walking up and down, being pinned. And I always used to wonder, I wonder what they're doing. And so I decided this evening that I will explain it to you so that when it happens, you don't miss it. You will see the robing of our immediate past president, Professor Sateche. This is something that I worked out with Simone, that it actually happens every 5 years. And in our case, it's happening a little bit longer than that. I think it's happening now in our close to 7th year because of COVID. And then you will see the admission of honorary fellows. This is the highest award that the college can give anyone. And so because there are so many special moments in this admission ceremony, I do want to do something that is very unusual and call our Vice President to come and stand next to me. And when Prof. Fagan and I were elected, we were not elected alone. Professor Fagan is the Senior Vice President. We were elected with Professor Ogubanjo, who passed away early on in our triennium. And so as we say, these positions, we don't hold them alone. We are very much supported by our families. And so in a special way, I want to call upon the widow of Professor Ogubanjo, Mrs. Priscilla Ogubanjo, together with the son, just to honor, you will see that we never filled the position of Professor Ogubanjo because he was just such a special person at the college, and we want to bring you up on stage to honor you. We'll now proceed to the pinning of the immediate past president.
Madam President, it's my privilege to call on Professor Mike Sateche to come forward to receive the badge of the immediate past president.
So Professor Sateche is our immediate past president. As I said, we follow in the footsteps of giants. And Professor Sateche, as you know, we do things unusually this time. And I do want to recognize, colleagues, again, that we don't do this work alone. And so I'd like to call upon Professor Sateche's wife, Dr. Sateche, to come and help me to robe Professor Sateche and to pin him. Mrs. Sateche. I'm making us stand in front of the table so that we don't miss it. And Dr. Sateche, we do have a special gift for you because we know that we kept your husband up sleepless nights, all nights doing college work. And so again, we do know that behind every powerful, strong person is another powerful, strong person, especially a woman. And so for those who can't see, this is the immediate past president badge, which I am just going to get it opened and then pin Professor Sateche. They make sure that they make them sturdy so that they can last forever. We welcome you, Professor Sateche, as our past president. So I now like to call upon Prof. Ngalwane.
Madam President, it's my honor to call upon Professor Johan Fagan to present Prof. Matt House for admission to Honorary Fellowship of the College of Medicine of South Africa.
It's a great honor for me. It's a great honor for me to read the citation for Professor Matt House's Honorary Fellowship of the Colleges of Medicine of South Africa in recognition of his many years of outstanding achievements and service to the CMSA and to medicine and to business. After graduating from the University of Cape Town in 1974, Professor House obtained a research doctorate from UCT in 1988. He has 7 additional higher qualifications in medicine. He holds 2 postgraduate diplomas from the CMSA, 1 in pediatrics and 1 in obstetrics and gynecology, and is a fellow of both the Royal College of Physicians of the UK and of the CMSA. Professor House is an allergologist of international standing and is considered a world expert in allergy prevention. He is a founding member and past chairman of the Allergy Society of South Africa. He is a former editor of their journal and has played a pivotal role in the success story that has been the development of the Allergy Society of South Africa into a very popular special medical interest society. His allergy research covers a broad field of interest and has brought him wide international recognition. He's written more than 200 original scientific publications and reviews and published abstracts and presentations at international scientific meetings. And it's also included 8 high-impact factor international journal publications and 3 so-called classic citations. Professor House is a regular invited scientist to international congresses and has chaired a number of international scientific boards. He has managed personal collaborative research projects with the National Institute of Health and the University of Cape Town and the British Medical Research Council's Epidemiology Unit and the Karolinska Institute at the University of Stockholm. Professor House enjoys the highest status and gravitas in the scientific community in South Africa and internationally, and has been awarded several significant academic distinctions, including the South African Financial Mail Rare Achievers Award for Science and Technology, the 2003 Farmer Prize for his contribution to medical research in South Africa from the South African Academy of Science and Technology, and in 2005, he was honored with the National Wits University Award for his contributions to cancer research and patient care. Over the past 35 years, he has directed clinical pharmaceutical research in South Africa, in the Asia-Pacific region, and in Latin America, which resulted in more than 100 new chemical entities being brought to the fore. In addition, he has been director of more than 300 international multi-center pharmaceutical clinical trials and has been executive director and vice president of research and development for the Johnson & Johnson pharmaceutical company, Johnson Silag, and AstraZeneca International. In 2004, he was seconded to the People's Republic of China as executive vice president for research and development for AstraZeneca, China, and Asia Pacific. And in the same year, he was an invited lecturer for the INSEAD Business School in Singapore on consumer branding and marketing. Now, apart from his academic and business careers, Professor House has been active in many areas of commerce, in industry, and financial services. He was a non-executive director of the Professional Provident Society, that's PPS, for 10 years. He was deputy chairman of the PPS Holding Company and chairman of both the PPS Holding Company and the PPS Insurance Company. He now serves as the lead independent non-executive director of the holding company of the South African Bidvest-controlled Adcock Ingram and is chairman of the risk committee. Now, in addition to Professor House, in addition to this, Professor House is an extraordinary professor at the University of Pretoria, and he was appointed adjunct professor at the Faculty of Health Sciences at UCT in 2000. And he served on a World Health Organization task force compiling guidelines for prevention of asthma and allergic diseases. And then the iconic Moments in Time oncology project also owes its origins to him, and he served as chairman of the Moments in Time Charitable Trust. Professor House has had a long and distinguished association with the Colleges of Medicine of South Africa. He holds diplomate qualifications in child health and obstetrics. He has a membership qualification, the MFGP, and a fellowship, the FCFP of the Colleges of Medicine. He received the Claude Harris Leon Medal for being the most outstanding candidate for the MFGP-SA examination in 1984. He served the College of Pediatrics as counselor and senator for 5 consecutive terms between 1986 and 2004. He was examiner for the MFGP membership examination and the pediatric DCH, the diplomate examination, and the diploma in allergology. And he also managed the establishment of the diploma in allergology at the CMSA. He's been a member of the Examinations and Credentials Committee and chairman of the Risk Committee of the CMSA, and a medical trustee and secretary-treasurer of the foundation of the CMSA, as well as a non-medical trustee of the CMSA Trust between 2011 and 2019. He was also the official fundraiser for the 2 examination halls in Johannesburg and Cape Town, and the honorary editor of the Transactions Journal of the CMSA between 1995 and 2004. And he was awarded life membership of the College of Family Physicians in 2014. But outside of these worlds of medicine, academia, and business, Professor House is also a keen musician and a writer, and is an international speaker on a wide range of topics such as corporate re-engineering, leadership, and existential philosophy. So, Madam President, it's a great honor to present Professor Matt House for an honorary fellowship of the Colleges of Medicine of South Africa.
We're not done yet. There are a lot of things with the honorary fellowship, so you just have to sign here. So Matt just has to sign the book as an honorary fellow.
Madam President, it's my honor to call on Professor Mike Sateghe to present Professor Geraldine Q for admission to the Honorary Fellowship of the Colleges of Medicine of South Africa.
Madam President, I present to you with great pleasure Professor Barend Geddas Lindeki, who obtained his MBCHB at the University of Pretoria in 1976, his FCOG from the Colleges of Medicine of South Africa in 1983, together with an MEd in cum laude at the University of Stellenbosch. Prof. Gerard also obtained his MD at the University of Stellenbosch in 1999, and his thesis was titled The Malignant Potential of Ordinary Condylomata and Other Related Pre-Malignant Lesions of the Uterine Cervix. Gerald Lindeki is one of South Africa's most distinguished academic gynecologists. He served as professor and chief specialist and head of department of ONG at the University of Pretoria from 1990 to 2018. At that time, he also served as the chair of the medical school at the Faculty of Health Sciences, University of Pretoria from 2002 to 2018. He also served as the Deputy Dean, Faculty of Health Sciences from 2011 to 2018. Prof. Lindeki trained over 100 ONG specialists and a lot of undergraduates. This is a remarkable, outstanding achievement by all means. And of course, he also published 110 manuscripts and 40 textbooks. He contributed to the training and regulations of the medical professions by serving in various roles and committees of the HPCSA, including chairing the postgraduate education and training medical, of which he has made remarkable changes in that committee. Prof. Lindeki served as president of the College of ONG for many years and became involved there in CMSA matters, serving in various positions, including being a member of Senate from 1995 up until 2019, Honorary Registrar from 1998 to 2001, the member of the executive of the Colleges of Medicine of South Africa from 1998. This culminated in him being elected as president of the Colleges of Medicine of South Africa for the term 2010 to 2015. Following that, he served as the immediate past president and subsequent term 2016 to 2019. He has served the CMSA with considerable distinction, signing and the important implementation that the CMSA is the national postgraduate examination body for specialists in medicine and dentistry, as well as subspecialties, and growing the relationship with the universities and professional bodies. Professor Lindeki has been honored by a number of local and international societies, including the Lennon Gold Medal Achievement Award, South African Society of Medical Oncology, Honorary Gold Medal, Christo Beers Memorial Branch, South African Academy of Science and Arts in 1992. The University of Pretoria also honored him with the Chancellor's Medal for Education in 2001. And then the University of Pretoria further honored him with an Outstanding Achiever Award for the year 2003 to 2005. The South African Society of ONG also gave him a Special Merit Award, the Summer Lifetime Achievement Gold Award, the Summer Special Award, Arts and Science in Medicine in 2017. Prof. Lindeki also chaired the South African Society of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, the South African Society of Gynecology Oncology, Local Organizing Committee for FIGO 2009, World Congress in Cape Town, and served as a member of the Executive Board of FIGO, the International Federation of Obstetrics and Gynecology, from 2000 to 2006. He was elected for fellowship at UNDAM from the Royal College of ONG in 2006 and a fellow of the Academy of Medicine of Singapore in 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, his concerning CMSA activities and his ongoing contributions are highly valued. Hence, it is very appropriate that the CMSA recognizes these contributions and his enormous passion for CMSA with the highest award of an honorary fellowship.
It just takes a little bit longer. Thank you very much. Thank you. Mike, thank you very much. Thank you, President.
Thank you so much.
Madam President, it's my honor again to call upon Professor Marisa Foster to present Professor Mike Sateche for admission to Honorary Fellowship of the Colleges of Medicine of South Africa.
Madam President, it is now my immense pleasure and privilege to present to you my teacher, mentor, and friend, Professor Machaba Michael Sateche. Professor Sateche is the professor and head of department at the Nuclear Medicine Department of University of Pretoria and Steve Biko Academic Hospital. Professor Sateche graduated as the top student in mathematics for South Africa in 1987 and obtained the Chancellor's Award for being the top student for any degree lasting more than 4 years at Medunsa in 1993. He completed his specialization in nuclear medicine in 1998. During this period of specializing, he received numerous merit awards, including a research fellowship to Katholieke University Leuven, and he also completed his PhD at the University of Kent. Prof. Satege has served the colleges of medicine of South Africa in various roles. Actually, I want to say all of them. He started with the College of Nuclear Physicians, our college, and Prof. Satege and Prof. Elman were instrumental in restructuring the examinations and regulations of the CNP. He occupied the positions of secretary and senator, as well as president of the CNP. Professor Satege is the immediate past president of the CMSA. Prior to this position, he was the CMSA Mace-Bearer, Honorary Registrar of the Examinations and Credentials Committee, and Chairman of the Examination and Credentials Committee. Internationally, he has also served the CMSA as the International Medical Education Leaders Forum Ambassador, which was founded by the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons of Canada. As a tribute to his scientific excellence and high standing internationally, he has been appointed editor-in-chief of the Seminars in Nuclear Medicine. This is the #1 review and teaching journal of nuclear medicine globally. Mike is also an associate editor of European Journal of Nuclear Medicine and Molecular Imaging and the Journal of Nuclear Medicine. These are the top 2 research journals in nuclear medicine. Prof. Satege is the president-elect of the World Association of Radiopharmaceuticals and Molecular Therapy. He is the immediate past chairman of the MRC of South Africa and the immediate past president of the International Society of Radiolabeled Blood Elements, and also the past Secretary General of the World Federation of Nuclear Medicine and Biology. Professor Satege has led and convened the PET-CT guidelines and targeted radionuclide guidelines in South Africa. He has trained several nuclear medicine specialists, doctoral and postdoctoral fellows. Mike serves as an IAEA expert and has co-authored the International Training Curriculum for Nuclear Medicine Physicians. He is also a member of the Lancet Oncology Commission on Radiotherapy and Theranostics. Prof. Satege has published over 200 peer-reviewed articles, excluding abstracts and chapters, and is one of the global leaders with regards to treatment of prostate cancer using actinium PSMA and bismuth PSMA. He has led and introduced several targeted molecular imaging and therapeutic probes, both in infection and oncology. He is the recipient of several key awards for research and service, including being rated as an internationally acclaimed researcher by the NRF. Some of the significant awards include the award to host the main nuclear medicine research infrastructure facility in South Africa, the South African Clinical Society Research Excellence Award, the Fellowship in Art and Science of Medicine Award, the Golden Pen Award, SOMA Leadership Award, the MRC's prestigious President's Award for exceptional lifelong contribution to medical research and public health. Prof. Satege is the chair of the ASAF panel on research, development and innovation of peaceful uses of nuclear technologies in South Africa. He was also honored by being admitted as a fellow of the Academy of Medicine in Singapore. Apart from all of this, he's also probably one of the best people you'll ever meet. Humble, kind, and generous. It is with this in mind that we nominate Prof. Satege for the highest honor of the CMSA, the Honorary Fellowship of the Colleges of Medicine of South Africa.
Madam President, it's an honor to announce the medals that will be presented to candidates who achieved outstanding results in the following examinations. Fellowship of the College of Anesthetists of South Africa, Part 1, Janssen Research Foundation Medal to Dr. Hasmita Kuverjee in May 2020. And the second one is for the Fellowship of the College of Anesthetists of South Africa, Part 1, the Abbott Medal, Dr. Hasmita Kuverjee in May 2020. Fellowship of the College of Anesthetists of South Africa, Part 1, the Jaime Simpson Medal to Dr. Sibutsi Tandi Shamaine Tobechane in May 2021. Fellowship of the College of Anesthetists, Part 1, the GlaxoSmithKline Medal to Dr. Aidan Andrew Extian in May 2021 examinations. Fellowship of the College of Cardiology of South Africa, final examination, the Libero Fati Medal, presented to Dr. Dambuza Nyamande in the October 2021 examinations. It's cardiothoracic surgery, excuse me. Fellowship of the College of Ophthalmologists of South Africa, Primary, the Neville Welsh Medal to Dr. Anik Weideman in the May 2021 examinations. Fellowship of the College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists of South Africa, Part 1, GP Charlwood Medal, presented to Dr. Siboniso Goodman Dlamini in the October 2021 examinations. Fellowship of the College of Nuclear Physicians of South Africa, Nuclear Technology Product, NTP Medal, presented to Dr. Lechi Shamaine Masirumule in the October 2021 examinations. Madam President, I present successful candidate to the higher diploma in family medicine of the College of Family Physicians of South Africa, to Dr. Lenge Natalie Kabamba. A higher diploma in orthopedics of the College of Orthopedic Surgeons of South Africa to Dr. Tony Lutete Mavungu. Diploma in Allergology of the College of Family Physicians of South Africa, Dr. Michelle Hawkins. Diploma in Anesthetics of the College of Anesthetists of South Africa, Dr. Tasneem Ahmad. Dr. Ilse Rosanne Baron. Dr. Baron and the following candidates are successful in the DA, Diploma in Anesthetics of South Africa. The next one is Dr. Simpiwe Njabulo Buthelezi. Dr. Marcia Antonine Couch. Dr. Patricia Zamanjali Hlabangani. Ayodele Iliomade. Fwankenda Zeik Jacks. Grace Khutso Kekana. Shoneen Kelber. Hasmita Kuverje. Manenga Olifir Kwete. Kutullo Kadi Latakho. Jason Howie Leong. Mamatlola Khaugelo Coretta Letswalo. Otaje Logos. Cobrin Frank Lutheran. Richongile Style Mangai. Zikona Machesini. Luko Mazule. Siyabonga Charlie Mbata. Babuse Ngunu. Divan Mens. Zamangwango, Poshia Ngwango. Christopher Kwena Mwabelo. Mafeta Heri Mujano. Kiuikantse Doreen Muilwa. Tabonyana David Nkobo. Nyachane Thomas Nkuna. Uzomaka Ijioma Okoli. Radhika Patel. Sanjula Pillay. Moloko Eudora Rapulu. Brendan Mark Severay. Eshla Schooler. Rose Toko Sibanyoni. Bakang Molebogeng Thani. Gundo Gloria Tataisa. Janri van Wyk. Madam President, I present successful candidates to the Diploma in Forensic Medicine of the College of Forensic Pathologists of South Africa, Clinical, Kifilwe Matlatse Bokaba Leballo. Diketso Fanzi. Madam President, I present successful candidates to the Diploma in Forensic Medicine of the College of Forensic Pathologists of South Africa, Clinical Pathology. Ntombenhle Primos Sikwebela. Successful candidates, Madam President, to the Diploma in Forensic Medicine of the College of Forensic Pathologists of South Africa, Pathology, Ayanda Mohaba Mufukeng. Moses Tato Patlakwe. Leano Petogo. Koliwe Colin Skosana. Successful candidate to the Diploma in HIV Management of South Africa, Tebogo Bogobe. Benedictus Wolayanyo Anthony Deku. Mrin Mai Da. Priya Durga. Nicole Audrey Glover. Michelle Hawkins. Mikombe Max Kibambe. Liwat Astrid Audrey Kuacho. Sekedi Make. Violet Lerato Maboja. Pumza Mabono. Singita Decorate Mabunza. Leonard Matoboro Mahlari. Helen Molokhadi Makhatlela. Makhalani Molebogeng Mamagobo. Urebutse Marope. Huzaifa Mayet. Khomego Miranda Mogane, Tumelo Mira Mukola, Orenthra Neika, Nakamuzi Francine Nemaguvuni, Gugulethu Pearl Nondumiso Nhleko, Lindonkuhle Nkosi, Nombuso Ngcele, Mahlatse Philippine Pochana, Bavinash Pillay, Alicia Ramchandar, Simone Shanice Rayland, Stan Philip Samuel, George Satekhe, Biba Joy Songabao, Lois Munorwei Tarwa, Ntibatse Rosetta Tladi, Tisetso Vier, Boneswa Natalia Khekwani, Madam President, successful candidates in the Diploma in Obstetrics of the College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists of South Africa, Sunday Justice Ibohon, Valentine Lidi Isha Ekomo, Nomzamo Penelope Khoza, Maria Kodisang, Mamatlola Kgaugelo Coretta Letswalo. Linia Moshaisanye Mafela. Tsebe Joseph Mahampa. Mahume Frank Benvocius Masehla. Tsembekile Ntabiseng Nkonta. Veronica Muachi. Mampato Mudipadi Adolfina Muela. Puluso Muele. Everett Shibangu Mukeba. Jean Marion Omoni. Mpho Mary Shale. Mbali Evidence Sihlangu. Madam President, successful candidates in the Diploma in Ophthalmology of the College of Ophthalmologists of South Africa, Walda Danielle Paul. Mulamuleli Felicia Chimange. Jacobus Daniel Venter. Madam President, successful candidates in the Diploma in Primary Emergency Care of the College of Emergency Medicine of South Africa, Boris Ilunga Bongo. Priyanka Payal Dehalu. Jessica Lee Grief. Christos Paniotis Halkas. Tashrik Hendricks. Kayla Sarah Jacobs. Kathleen Joy Murugi Kubuya. Hlengiwe Elizabeth Precious Mabaso. Christy Machin. Dikeledi Dolly Mahakwe. Amogelang Prince Sechaba Manganyi. Alfred Joshua Maringa. Tembi Maseko. Tato Gideon Mukhashwa. Re a leboga Tebogo Sibitso. Sidiba Virginia Chale. Madam President, I present to you successful candidates of the Fellowship of the College of Anesthetists of South Africa. Diodun Bantu Kapachika. Jacques Botha. Patricia Mary Brown. Alicia Carbonari. Nicole Marie Carrera. Jenitha Dairam. Tracy Jade Ferreira. Rihanna Fori. Rona Gous. Wanano Samuel Habangana. Rebecca Atibat Iputo. Boyan Korda. Khonsi Leballo. Nkateko Leonard Makubela. Hilda Mazvikwa. ke na le modisa Lindiwe Mokgotsi. Karen Jade Muonian. Motse Uthata Justice Johannes Mutibi. Dikeledi Emily Hadio Mutswane. Lungile Carol Mwelase. Bandile Sakile Quintin Nkosi. Valentine Nolum Orji. Leshata Miriam Ratlabiani. Andre Retif. Shale Stale. Linda Tomo. Petras Jacobus Vermeulen. Erika Sharon Vessels. Madam President, I present to you successful candidates of the Fellowship of the College of Cardiothoracic Surgeons of South Africa. Kudzai Kanyepi. Muleboheng Mukocho. Bongani Stephen Nguchani. Dambuza Nyamande. Madam President, successful candidates to the Fellowship of the College of Dermatologists of South Africa, Rosalind Chioma Ede. Fortis Kwevelakis. Tinashe Ivan Maphosa. Baby Rose Mfikwe. Kaisha Mary Mukwatlo. Ramaite Matilda Mpahlele. Neo Lebogang Dikoloti Sekgoma. Madam President, successful candidates to the Fellowship of the College of Emergency Medicine of South Africa, Anuluapo Ademola Abolarin. Jana Louise Duplessis. Onke Felicia Tuswa. Madam President, successful candidates to the Part B of the final of the Fellowship of the College of Family Physicians of South Africa, Palesa Dibakwani. Temeno Mehari Hapte. Makafani Cyril Mabatwana. Eliza Malaza. Madam President, successful candidates to the Fellowship of the College of Forensic Pathologists of South Africa, Dorothea Maria Hubert. Molefe Isaac Kolodi. Malerato Ramela. Madam President, successful candidates to the Fellowship of the College of Medical Geneticists of South Africa, Njabulo Christian Mabaso. Madam President, successful candidates to the Fellowship of the College of Neurologists of South Africa, Mamunukwani Innocentia Diali. Winfred Huitzimang Manchiu. Makokoro Tracy Mako. Tawanda Mushawarima. Madam President, successful candidates to the Fellowship of the College of Neurosurgeons of South Africa, Lauren Maxine Ford. Yonela Macala. Ruan Mare. Masedi Selby Mohale. Masechaba Molefe. Madikana Bradley Mushokwa. Blessing Ndlovu. Hleze kuhle Phethezinhle Nkala. Madam President, successful candidates to the fellowship of the College of Nuclear Physicians of South Africa. Khanyisile Nomfundo Hlongwa. Aisha Ismail. Lichie Shamaine Maserumule. Honest Ndlovu. Masilo Prudence Rivombo. Samuel Teye. Madam President, successful candidates to the fellowship of the College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists of South Africa. Nomshado Stembile Afulian. Zandile Dorothy Dunn. Cebile Lungile Kininza. Siseko Mncebisi Gqola. Michael Ni Arma Hammond. Natasha Hugo. Candice Angela Johnson. Sylvian Mpamba Kalonji. Kasongo Kazadi. Tabang Petule Khatle. Mukwena Allen Khomu. Mokwena, sorry. Rujda Lariza Khan. Ernest Billy Makagula. Refilwe Faith Mahabani. Ishania Mahabier. Lerato William Malahlela. Neo Malete. Sakutlolo Mapikana. Tibelelo Anastasia Mashela. Bongani Vincent Masuku. Sipesihle Azi Mbanjwa. Ayanda Ngabakazi Ntselekazi Mini. Lifihlile Ali Murudu. Ranwezi Ismail Mudau. Tiamo Nakanyani. Kambola Eli Ndala. Tinabo Brilliant Ndebele. Ntsako Marion Nkanyani. Tinei Nzenza. Uburota Uchena Onwagbu. Rachel Orfanidis. Bongi Khubushe. Venus Salem. Dumisani Alex Sihlabela. Paballo Teletsani. Lesego Claudette Sikitla Thomas. David Royal Tlhabano. Matefo Eileen Tsekedi. Duduzile Ubomba. Madam President, successful candidates to the Fellowship of the College of Ophthalmologists of South Africa, Florence Antwi Anyimadu. Monique Dugovia Camacho. Daniel Anthony Erasmus. Cedric Papong Mabua. Anesu Matikani. Priscilla Nuku Muteke. Sibusisiwe Miki Mpanza. Dimple Deepa Shastri. Precious Bongi Sitole. Mpho Cynthia Tsimanyani. Madam President, successful candidates to the Fellowship of the College of Orthopedic Surgeons of South Africa, Tapeshwar Ajoda. Praval Raj Dawadi. Jason Duplessis. Kao Wei Nico Fang. Loiso Kamana. Adam Heshman. Bonani Samson Konye. Tsepo Sylvester Mabuke. Johannes Lawrence Mukholejo. Happy Ngwako Masipa. Chweni Soli Matiba. Vuyisa Siphelele Ndingi. Moabi Ufentse Valentine Monareng. Peo Kabelo Mupatlani. Pumza Mshukwana. Marubini Armstrong Munyai. Emmanuel Domo Osei. Tsepang Edison Piri. Kabonina Peterson. Daniela Pinkas. Shadrach Hemen Powani. Ndivoniswani David Tikatali. Shadrach Murake Tlhabani. Keletso Tshulo. Muleleki William Mureng. Yeah, just wait there. Madam President, presents successful candidates to the certificate in maternal and fetal medicine of the College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists of South Africans. These are specialists who have now super specialized to become experts in a specific field of their area. Simpiwe Mose. Mokhadi Nchinyai. Roberts Barasa Nyakwe. The last one. Mureng was a certificate in gynae oncology. I forgot to mention that.
Can I please ask then for our graduates to have a seat? And also those at the back, if I can ask you to have a seat. We are closing now. So in closing this admission ceremony, I want to, on behalf of the CMSA, say thank you to all our graduates today. And I want to say congratulations. You're now officially part of a select few that have the privilege of being called medical specialists. With that in mind, do not forget that even with this great achievement, remain humble. Remain grounded. Your hands now have been entrusted with the lives of people who are precious to someone. Those people who we call patients are mothers, their daughters, their sisters, their fathers, their grandfathers, sons, brothers. My hope for you, all our graduates, is that your hands may always be guided by humility first. As Prof. Rataimane said, continue to read, to search for answers, to grow and broaden your mind. I want to ask you to remain in our beautiful country and again, remain humble. Never lose your humanity, no matter what the circumstances. Many of you this evening will go on to parties and celebrations to mark this momentous occasion, and you will hear numerous speeches given this evening. But I want to advise you and really borrow, as I was saying to Prof. Rataimane this morning, it's almost like we sat together and wrote our speeches, but we didn't, which it just says to you the resonance of the words that I'm about to speak. And so my advice to you is to take care of yourself. Remember to rest, remember to recuperate. Please take care of yourself. When needed, take time off, don't be ashamed. Look after your physical and mental well-being. Be kind. Be so kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Be gentle with yourself because, to be honest, there is only one you. Remember always, and it's become a joke in the colleges of medicine, and I say it all the time, you matter, you count, your voice counts. I really want to thank the entire CMSA family. I want to thank the entire CMSA staff, our stakeholders, and our partners, our friends, and everybody who's taken time out this evening to be here with us. We really are so greatly honored to have you with us this evening. In closing, I wish you all the best to our graduates in your journey going forward. And I leave you with the words of one of my favorite poets, Walt Whitman, and he said, "Keep your face always towards the sunshine, and shadows will always fall behind you." And now ask you to stand for the national anthem.
Say musikitor, Juveles dum sumus, Gaudeamus igitur, Juveles dum sumus, post secundam juventutem, post molestam senectutem, nos habebitumus, nos habebitumus, Gaudeamus igitur, Juveles dum sumus, Gaudeamus igitur, Juveles dum sumus, post secundam juventutem, post molestam senectutem, nos habebitumus, nos habebitumus, Gaudeamus igitur, Juveles dum sumus, Gaudeamus igitur, Juveles dum sumus, post secundam juventutem, post molestam senectutem, nos habebitumus, nos habebitumus. Hail to youth and hail to love so wonderful. Hail to youth and hail to life so wonderful. We will toss aside our care, and with all our comrades share one long love.